Welcome to our YouTube news channel where we strive to keep you informed about the most significant global events. Today's broadcast will center on a topic that has garnered significant attention recently: the proposed supply of weapons to Russia and Ukraine by foreign nations. This development could have a substantial impact on the ongoing conflict in the region and the balance of power between these two nations. Our team of dedicated journalists has been closely monitoring this story and has gathered exclusive insights and analysis from leading experts in this field. We invite you to join us as we delve deeper into this complex issue and provide you with the most relevant and current information on this rapidly evolving situation. Ukrainian Armed Forces repel over 60 attacks and shoot down Russian Su-25 aircraft. According to information released by the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine on Facebook as of 6 o'clock on April 16th, Ukrainian defenders successfully repelled 60 attacks from Russian forces over the past day and also managed to shoot down a Su-25 aircraft. The Russians launched 28 air and 6 missile strikes, as well as carried out 38 attacks using multiple launch rocket systems, with the aim of attacking the positions of Ukrainian troops and civilian infrastructure of settlements. The main focus of the Russian aggressors remains on conducting offensive actions on the Lyman, Bakhmut, Avdiivka, and Marinka fronts, with Bakhmut and Marinka being the epicenter of the fighting. During the last 24 hours, Ukrainian troops successfully defended against more than 60 Russian attacks in these areas. The settlements of Bunyakine, Iskrskivshina, Volfine, Shpyl, Basivka, Unikivka, and Popivka in Sumy Oblast, and Kozacha-Lopan, Haidish, Vovchansk, and Vovchansky Kudary in Kharkiv Oblast were also targeted by Russian fire. On the Kupiansk front, the Russians placed mines in the area near 4 settlements and fired at Novomlinsk, Dvorigna, and Berestov in Kharkiv Oblast. Meanwhile, on the Lyman front, Russian forces launched unsuccessful offensive operations near the settlements of Dybrova and Bilo-Orivka, and deployed artillery to fire on Stelmakivka, Nevsk, and Bilo-Orivka in Luhansk Oblast, and Ivanivka, Torsky, and Spern in Donetsk Oblast. On the Bakhmut front, Russian forces are continuing their offensive operations, with fighting still ongoing for the city of Bakhmut. The Russians attempted an unsuccessful offensive near Kromov, while settlements such as Vasyukivka, Minkivka, and Bakhmut, among others, in Donetsk Oblast were targeted by Russian fire. On the Avdiivka front, the Russians also conducted unsuccessful offensive operations near Avdiivka and Severny, firing at more than 15 settlements near the contact line in Donetsk Oblast. On the Marinka front, Ukrainian defenders successfully repelled numerous Russian attacks in the area, while settlements such as Hirhivka, Marinka, and Kurakov, among others, were targeted by Russian fire in Donetsk Oblast. On the Shakhtarsk front, there were no offensive actions by Russian forces. However, they fired at settlements such as Volodar, Prikostivka, and Zolota Niva in Donetsk Oblast. On the Zaporizhia and Kherson fronts, Russian forces are conducting defensive actions, with settlements near the contact line targeted by Russian fire. Over the past day, Ukrainian Air Force carried out 11 strikes on occupiers' personnel and military equipment, and the Ukrainian Armed Forces successfully shot down a Russian Su-25 aircraft. Additionally, rocket forces and artillery units struck several clusters of Russian manpower, weapons, military equipment, and infrastructure. The Russian Su-25 is a ground attack aircraft designed and manufactured by the Sukhoi Company in the Soviet Union. It was first introduced into service in 1981 and has been used in various conflicts and wars since then, including the war in Afghanistan, the Chechen Wars, and the conflicts in Syria and Ukraine. The Su-25 is a single-seat, twin-engine jet aircraft with a maximum speed of up to 950 km per hour and a range of up to 750 km. It is heavily armored, making it resistant to ground fire, and is equipped with various weapon systems, including missiles, bombs, rockets, and a 30mm cannon. The Su-25 has been used extensively in the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, with Ukrainian forces successfully shooting down several Su-25s. Additionally, the aircraft has been used by Russian forces in Syria to support the Assad regime. The Su-25 is known for its close air support capabilities and is often used in ground attack missions against enemy targets, including armored vehicles, bunkers, and fortifications. Its armor protection also allows it to operate in low-altitude, high-threat environments. The aircraft has undergone several upgrades and modernizations over the years, with the latest version being the Su-25 SM-3, which features improved avionics, upgraded engines, and enhanced weapon systems. However, despite its upgrades, the Su-25 is considered to be an aging platform, with newer and more advanced aircraft such as the Su-34 and Su-57 being developed to replace it. Ukrainians convert Russian T-62 tank into recovery vehicle. As the war in Ukraine continues, the Ukrainian army has found a new use for some of the vintage Russian army T-62 tanks that it has captured. These 1960s-era tanks are being converted into recovery vehicles, which will be used to tow or repair damaged armored fighting vehicles that are stuck or inoperable. This innovative idea was inspired by the fact that tanks often sustain damage in battle rather than being completely destroyed. The project, which cost $46,000, was reportedly funded through a crowdfunding campaign. Meanwhile, the Russian armed forces are facing a tank shortage as they rebuild their units to send back into Ukraine. They have resorted to using 60-year-old T-62s to replace armor losses. According to Western intelligence services, the Russian defense industry has been severely impacted by sanctions since the beginning of the war, and they are now reportedly heavily reliant on foreign electronics and materials. As Ukraine faces a shortage of armored recovery vehicles, ARVs, and battle tanks, there is a potential solution to their need for more tanks. At the onset of Russia's attack on Ukraine in February 2022, Ukraine only had around 36 Brem-1, Brem-2, Brem-M, Brem-64, and BTS-4 ARVs. In January, the United States agreed to a process that would eventually send dozens of M1 Abrams battle tanks to Ukraine. However, this process can take several months or even years. Ukraine believes that heavily armored Western battle tanks could provide their troops with more mobility and protection in preparation for an anticipated new Russian offensive. Additionally, the tanks could potentially help Ukraine retake some of the territory that Russia has gained. The TRML-4D radars are highly effective at detecting Russian aircraft. Now the manufacturer is making them in advance. As the war in Ukraine continues, several Western weapons are being put to the test, and a German radar system has reportedly shown positive results. The TRML-4D multifunctional air surveillance radar system by Hensoldt AG is currently being utilized by the Ukrainian Air Force as part of the IRIS-T anti-aircraft missile complex. According to Bloomberg, Hensoldt AG is now expecting orders for this system worth hundreds of millions of euros following its successful implementation in Ukraine. According to reports, Ukraine has already received 4 TRML-4D radars, with the first radar station delivered back in October and 2 additional units expected to be delivered this year. Thomas Muller, the chief executive officer of Hensoldt AG, notes that the TRML-4D radar is currently the best medium-range radar system in the world. The TRML-4D radar has proven to be highly effective in helping Ukraine intercept more than 90% of enemy aircraft in its skies, making it an invaluable asset in the ongoing conflict. According to the chief executive officer of Hensoldt AG, Thomas Muller, the TRML-4D radar is currently the best medium-range radar system in the world. This system has proven to be highly effective in helping Ukraine intercept more than 90% of enemy aircraft in its skies, making it a valuable asset in the ongoing conflict. The demand for these radars is so high that the company is pre-producing systems before receiving orders, with expectations that this trend will continue. In fact, Germany is reportedly planning to purchase up to 8 IRIS-T anti-aircraft missile systems, which includes the TRML-4D radar, as part of the European Sky Shield program. The TRML-4D radar station represents the latest advancement in weapons and military equipment. This particular version is the latest addition to the TRML radar family, which was first showcased at the Eurosatory exhibition in 2018 and has been available to customers since 2020. In addition to Ukraine and Germany, other countries operating this radar include the Netherlands, Lithuania, Malaysia, and Thailand. According to Defense Express, this radar has an instrumental target detection range of up to 250 kilometers, with a minimum RCS of the target of 0.01 square meters. It can simultaneously detect up to 1,500 targets. Write your thoughts in the comments. Your opinion is very important to me. Also subscribe if you are ready to be aware of recent military news.